President Malcolm King, Chair of the Board of Trustees Jamie Levitt, distinguished faculty and staff, parents, families, friends, and most important, the Cooper Union graduating class of 2025. Thank you for inviting me to be your commencement speaker. I am honored to stand on a stage that has featured presidents, Supreme Court justices, writers, and scientists. This great hall has been a haven for ideas for more than 1.5 centuries. When I close my eyes, I can hear echoes of the voices of Abraham Lincoln, Thurgood Marshall, Carl Sandburg, Margaret Mead, and Barack Obama. When I first saw that list, I asked myself, what could I tell you today that would do justice to the ideas shared in this great hall? And what would do justice to this momentous day in your lives, the graduating class of 2025? Slowly, the outline of an idea took shape. It was an idea that made me uncomfortable. To be honest, I'm worried about sharing it with you today. But then I realized the Cooper Union Great Hall is exactly the place to grapple with uncomfortable ideas. Today is a day of pride for all you graduates. You are making an important transition, not just from college into what is ruefully called the real world. You are going from a universe with rules to one without rules. In college, your teachers give you assignments to turn in. Administrators tell you what you had to do to graduate. In school, other people draw the chalk marks, the lines of the court on which you play. They decide the rules. Now, having other people make rules and set goals for you can be frustrating when you are 20 or 21. But you will see, as you move into the real world, that the alternative can be even less pleasant. In the years to come, you will set your own goals, create your own rules. You will decide what kind of life to live. No destinies are preordained for you. Your problem now is not just to reach a goal, but to determine what your goals should be. This is not easy. If you don't know where you want to go, how will you get there? 20 years from now, no one will stand before you like I am standing today and tell you that you have reached your goals. In the courtroom of your life, you will be the judge, you will be the jury, you will also be the defendant. I want to share an exercise with you that can help you figure out what to do with your life. This is where things get uncomfortable. I want to talk to you about death. Specifically, your death. Some of you are shifting in your seats. I hear some nervous laughter. Perhaps you're thinking, is he allowed to talk about death at a commencement ceremony? Isn't he supposed to be telling us something about fish who don't know they're in water? I don't mean to be mean-spirited on a day of celebration. In fact, I'm going to jump ahead and give you the headline of my advice to you today. Thinking about your death can answer many questions about how you should live your life. Let me explain. What would you do if you knew that today was the last day of your life? Give it a second. Actually think about it. How would you spend your time? Would you declare your love to that cute guy or girl you've had your eye on all through college? Tell someone you dislike exactly what you think of them? Would you sit here listening to me? Let's make the thought experiment more interesting. What if you had only a year to live? This is the last year of your life. How would you spend it? What would you do? What would you not do? In the great Indian epic, the Mahabharata, a wise man is posed a series of difficult philosophical questions. If he gets the questions right, he will save the lives of his brothers. One of the questions is, what is the strangest thing in the world? And the wise man says, the strangest thing is that every day we all see people dying. We know that one day we will die too. Yet, in our heart of hearts, no one believes that day is today. You may have noticed that as you thought about your last day or your last year, different thoughts arose in your mind. This is the value of the exercise. When you realize your life is finite, you start to prioritize. You see what matters. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, Henry David Thoreau once wrote, to see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I'm not suggesting that you should spend hours worrying about death. That is neither helpful nor healthy. But briefly contemplating our mortality can wake us up. It can help us live deliberately. Whom would you hug if this was your last day on earth? Whom would you apologize to? Whom would you want to see one last time? If you really thought this was your last day alive, would you waste your time being angry with your parents or friends over some real or imagined slight? Would you spend your remaining hours hating people who don't share your views about politics? Would you squander precious minutes worrying what other people think of you? Can you see how our unwillingness to contemplate death is actually a drug? It's the voice inside you that says, don't worry, you have an endless number of tomorrows. It doesn't matter if you waste one day or 10 or 10,000. We all get a brief moment on this planet. We don't choose when we are born. We don't decide whether we are one of the earliest humans walking the African continent, or if we are born in the age of the pharaohs on the banks of the Nile, or live in the age of AI and flying cars. What we do know is that our time is brief. It's possible one reason these thoughts have been going through my mind is that a few months ago, my mother passed away. She was nearly 93 and lived a full and successful life. But as I sat by her side as she was drifting away, I realized that 93 years can pass by like that. In the 100,000 or 200,000 years that humans have lived on the planet, in the 4 billion years that life has existed on Earth, in the 13 billion years since the Big Bang, we are all around for insignificant amounts of time. Yes, that is a painful realization. But the only response to that is to ask how you can make the days that you do have matter. Now, it's possible that at first, thinking about death might turn us toward casual pleasures. If today was the last day of your life, you could light up your cigars, you could drink yourself senseless. Why worry about your health when you know you'll die tomorrow? But if we stay with the question a moment longer, if we sit with the discomfort of the question, I believe many of us would not choose superficial pleasures. People who actually know they are dying do not spend their time on trivial things. I believe your thoughts would turn to the people in your life who matter, to work that gives you joy, to ways that you can make a difference. Your education here at Cooper was not just about knowledge. It was a bet on you to build, imagine, and serve. Our lives may be finite, but as the great scientist Jonas Salk once said, we can all ask how we can be good ancestors. You might decide to plant some trees. You might speak up about something that has bothered you for a long time. You might make one last donation to your alma mater. President King, that was product placement for you. You're welcome. I am certain You would not choose to spend the last hours of your life around mean, unpleasant, or unethical people. You would not devote your final months to doing something you hated because you thought it would buy you the chance to do something you loved later on. You would not spend your last hours being afraid of saying the wrong thing, or revealing your heart, or just being yourself. In the last scene between death and ourselves, there is no more pretending, said the French writer Michel de Montaigne. No more pretending. This is the lesson of the story. You are not dying today or tomorrow or next week, but you should live your life with the intensity and clarity you would have if you were going to die soon. Are there things for which you need to make amends? Don't wait. Do it today. Are there dreams that thrill you and frighten you? Pursue them now. Are there people you admire or love? Don't keep your feelings to yourself. Tell them. Of course, since you are all smart graduates, you will see the flaw in my argument. If you knew you were to die next week, would you spend time learning calculus? Or a new language? Would you attempt to create a work of art that could take months to finish? There are many important things that cannot be done in a day or a week or a year. Mahatma Gandhi offers this useful revision to our exercise. He said, live as if you were going to die tomorrow, but learn as if you were going to live forever. These exercises are really about the power of perspective. Our minds cannot think outside the frames we construct, the reference points we have. Living with urgency requires us to imagine very short time frames. Living with purpose requires us to imagine very long time frames. What I love about these exercises is that they are not prescriptive about the answers. They don't tell you what you should do with your life, but they do tell you how you can make the next hour count, make the next day matter, how you can be alive to all that is happening around you. When you do this, magical things will start to happen. Your heart will show you what you really care about. Doors will open to you. You'll attract people into your life who will help you. There is nothing more attractive, more sexy, than someone with an inner fire. Best of all, you will discover what you need to stop doing. The opinions of other people, the din of the outside world will start to fade. You will begin to hear that quiet inner voice, the one that has been trying to talk to you for a long, long time. It won't be easy. You'll get things wrong. But here's the thing. Most people are so worried about being wrong or embarrassed or hated that they are not living. They're just dying slowly. To the graduating class, I promise you this. If you take a moment, once a week or once a month, and ask yourself what you would do if this was the last year of your life, you would be less afraid to say and do the right thing. You will see how much wonder there is in ordinary things. An hour spent with friends, if you thought it was the last time you'll see them, will be intense. A quiet afternoon immersed in meaningful work will feel like a vocation. What I am trying to tell you is to trust yourself. You are stronger than your fears. You are braver than your doubts. You are wiser than you realize. Try to build something that outlives you. Love someone like it's your last chance. Live each hour like it really matters. Congratulations on this important day.